Good morning. It's 11 o'clock, so it's time to start another Digital Literacy Bootcamp webinar. Today, we are going to talk about search engine optimization, and we are going to unpack the basics of SEO. So please. Please, if you are the beginner, this is the perfect time and opportunity for you to learn new things and get familiar with search engine optimization. With me today is Bernard Gołko. Welcome, Bernard.
Welcome.
It's good to have you here back. Bernard is an expert with almost 20 years of experience in online business and e-commerce, and he's going today to present basics of SEO, as well as share his experience. My name is Kinga Dobrowska, and it's my pleasure to facilitate today webinar. This webinar is possible thanks to the kind support of three donors: the European Investment Bank Group, European Fund for Southeast Europe, and the European Commission. The EIB Institute offers grants and sponsorship to conferences, higher education, and research, enabling the development of microfinance in Europe and beyond. EFSE aims at building the infrastructure that support micro and small entrepreneurs in Southeast Europe and the Eastern Neighborhood region. Apart direct investment, they also provide and finance tailored projects focused on capacity building. Before we start, let me remind you about upcoming webinars, which are part of the Digital Literacy Bootcamp. Next Tuesday, we are going to talk about native ads, and this will be followed by the webinar on the digital customer service and value added. We will focus on UX experience. So if you haven't registered for those webinars, I encourage you to do so. So without any further ado, let's start the webinar. And let me first ask you the question. My colleague will now start the poll. How familiar you are with the search engine optimization? So, Alex, could you please share the poll?
It's already shared.
Okay, so please take a few seconds to answer the questions. It's one question, so it should take you just a second. And Bernard, you can meantime put your presentation online. I stopped sharing my screen. Alex, as I don't see the poll, if majority of people responded, please share the results and summarize it.
Okay, so 85% of people voted, and
Great.
Basically like 56, almost 60% have said that I've only heard about it and I want to learn more, which is a really good information, because that's the opportunity for you to actually learn a lot with our expert. Now 90% of people voted, and it's still a response which is the most common, 62%. And
okay, great. So thanks a lot for your answer. You are at a good place. I hope you will not waste your time. I'm sure you will not waste your time. This will be a very interesting session. Bernard prepared a lot of interesting information. So let me just also remind you that if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box, and we will be asking them during the presentation. So feel free to ask your questions. And Bernard, without any further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kinga, and thank you very much for having me here. to the audience and to address the results of the poll, I see that yes, I'm very happy to see that lots of people, they are coming to get more knowledge, and they are still fresh to the subject, because what we are going to discuss and present today, this is literacy bootcamp. So I'm sorry for the one person who is pro. This may be a boring session for you, but hopefully you will also find something interesting for you as well. So let's cut to the chase, guys. I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm not going to talk about positioning myself. We are jumping right to the SEO, but we will also discuss the role of SEO and the benefits for microfinance. We will go as well through the Google, and surely you know that the reason why SEO and Google is a marriage. We will discuss also a little bit and uncover what is BERT, what is the latest changes provided by Google in the new algorithm that was introduced months ago. And also, I will try to describe for you the trends in search engine optimization world and how to address them. Also, we will talk about the meaning of the SEO for the landing page. Lots of people think that for landing pages, it is not worth to invest into search engine optimization. I think it's quite opposite, and I will tell you why. Next thing will be SEO for mobile, for the new channel that is voice and the voice assistants. I'm a big fan of this technology in particular. We'll go through the tools proposals, not only the tools that you need to pay for, but also through the couple of free tools that I would like to recommend to you guys that you can easily set up and start working with on your both e-commerce and SEO tactics. We will go through the quick plan how to start the journey with the search engine optimization, and also a little bit we will talk about the role of the search engine optimization in the world of search engine marketing. So with these Google campaigns that you are either planning to do or you are doing already. Last but not least, we will try to address the pitfalls and how to avoid them. So guys, as you see, it's a massive subject, so it's gonna be robust, this presentation, and the way I'm gonna talk, it's gonna be a pile of information for you to start with. Hopefully, soon we will start planning with Kinga, with Eva, with Microfinance on the more advanced subjects, and we will actually focus on particular subject. Today, it's about understanding the world of SEO, about to understand how to start building this and whether it's worth to invest straight away. So guys, brace yourself. Search engine optimization, what it is, most of you already heard about this, some of you did not, but just to find the common ground, search engine optimization is about optimizing your website so it's eligible to be seen on the SERP, search engine result pages. It's not only about optimizing the website itself, but it's also about a set of tactics of the website in order to make the website really eligible and really visible on your on the search engines. Having in mind that currently people, if they stop using the address bar in the Chrome, in the Internet Explorer, or any other Safari like software, people stop to put www something onto the address bar. They already just type it into Google, into Bing, into other search engines. What it means basically that without presence in those search engines, basically your brand is not visible. How it works and why we do this, it's both in the same time, simple and complex. Let's start with the simplicity. We have something that we would like to publish. We have a web, or we have an article, maybe a landing page. So we would like this to be visible and possible to find for our customers. If possible, we would like to be higher in the ranks than our competition. So we will get more attention, more traction, but we will also build our brand, not only the sales. What happens after it's published? The site becomes to be visible for the Google or for any other crawlers. Crawlers is search spiders. They crawl your website and they try to understand the content. So try to understand for whom, for what kind of customers, with particular intent, how to show your website. And then after showing this, how to measure the effect. Because please bear in mind that the sooner you will do a quality content, a quality website, better optimize, the faster you will rise in the search engine result pages. What is important, guys? If your website is not ready for this, if your website is poor quality, Google is not leaving it just like this. The crawlers actually, they penalize you. They will put you lower and lower. So in future, it will be even harder, even implementing the good SEO tactics. It will be harder to get back to the top positions. So this is the first answer to one of the questions that I addressed at the beginning. This is about whether it's worth doing. Yes. Whether it's worth doing this immediately. Yes. Whether it's worth investing your time in this. Yes. What Crawler is doing, these algorithms, they are checking what your website is all about. What is the reaction of the visitors that are being redirected to your site. They are indexing this, they are putting this under relevant category and search terms. What happens if you made a good job? You are being shown on the display, on the first page. If you are the best, you will be somewhere up there. What's going to happen? From now on, Google will start judging your website and reposition this every day. So basically, this is not only about putting yourself on the first position, it's about also maintenance process that will ensure that you are constantly working on the quality of your website. So the customers who are entering this, so the customers who are really redirected by Google to your website, they are happy enough, so they are not bouncing back. So they are consuming the content. So they are going through the purchase path. At the end of the day, they are buying. On many occasions, I see that search engine optimization is mixed with positioning, when in fact, actually, these are very close subjects, and positioning, part of positioning is SEO, but not opposite. So what is SEO from this standpoint? Search engine optimization is about on-site content, about information architecture. So also the way user navigates, also the way you are building your links on the website, about building your navigation on the website, about the structure of the information that you are presenting there. It's also about the website code, especially from the perspective of the optimization, what is called markup schema or schema markup, that allows you to build rich snippets on the search engine result pages. But what is also important, and lots of companies I see, they tend to forget, or they are handing over this too easily to a third-party agency, for example, who's dealing with SEO for them, is the analytics and the KPIs reporting. Please bear in mind that whenever you are starting your journey with digital marketing, with digital itself and with SEO, this is the perfect time to start measuring what you are doing. This is the perfect time to proving that at the end of the day, when you take a look at the bottom line, you will be ROI positive from this channel. Positioning is SEO plus. So what does it mean, this plus? It's basically all your content marketing, on your link building, analytics, social media, and the business pages. So basically updating also the files on the Google site to present your business. So when someone is asking Siri, hey Siri, show me closest office of Microfinance, you will be visible, you will be presented. The benefits are kind of obvious, but still they are worth mentioning. Focus on customer experience. So SEO is pushing you always and constantly towards better customer experience. What it means basically that it is pushing you also towards the better sales, towards loyalty, towards a better understanding by the customers what your brand is all about. This is also foundation, and again, this is my opinion based on my experience, this is foundation for all e-marketing. Because guys, whenever you created your web shop, and actually your website is your branch. So imagine that you've got customers in your branch that is ugly, that the carpet is destroyed, that the door are not working, that the desks are old-fashioned. Are you going to build a trust on your customer side? It's not possible. You need to have a surrounding that tells the customer that you are a financial company, that you are worth being trusted, that you are taking care about yourself. So you will take care about wallets of your customers as well. And the digital is just a representation of you, what you are doing in the real world. So basically, at the end of the day, you need to consider your website as your branch, as your another branch. So making sure that the search engine optimization is done well for your branch means that your branch is standing on the right foundation. Next thing is about the long-term revenue. You can do lots of things with agencies. You can push the traffic, redirect the traffic. You can buy clicks. You can buy sessions. You can buy even sales. Is it going to be ROI positive? On many occasions, yes. What SEO is giving you, SEO is not for free. Lots of people are telling that this is free channel. No, it's not for free because you need to optimize your website. There is a cost behind this. You need to create the content. There is a cost behind this. But after 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, you will see that this is paying off. And later on, the maintenance, the cost of maintenance of SEO is much lower than what you are paying in PPC campaigns, than what you are paying in CPL campaigns, display campaigns, email campaigns. And it generates you not only constant long-term high ROI, it generates for you also publicity, it generates for you the brand presence. So actually in long run, it generates for you new customers. It does not require massive investment. Surely it can be done in-house, and on many occasions the companies I'm working with, they are doing this in-house. You don't need to invest a lot into expensive software. You don't need to buy the traffic from the agency. What you need to do, you need to make sure that there is a person, a leader, digital leader in your company that helps to navigate, that helps to build a team of 1-2 people that are able to understand the basics of SEO, to create the content and to make sure that the content is refreshed. Google hates, and other search engines as well, they hate when you create just a website, you make the initial investment, you created your content, 100 sub pages, and you are just leaving this. Google needs to see that the website is taken care of, that there is a life on this, not only from perspective of the users that they are coming to the website, but also from the perspective of the owner who's always making the maintenance, changing something, adjusting. So this is for sure doable in-house, and building the brand. Guys, so why Google? Because at least in most of the countries, 95% of the searches is being done in Google. So customers are going to Google, customer will put the name of your company. On many occasions, your competition will start bidding on your phrases as well, and on your brand as well on many occasions, especially when it's not trademarked. 95%. But please bear in mind that the challenge with SEO is that Google is in perpetual progress. It's always trying to evolve. It's always trying not to harm you. It's always trying to evolve into the direction where they are trying to understand not only who is user, but what is his or her current intent. So they understand that you are a particular persona. They understand where you are from. They understand your IP. They understand your fingerprint. But they need to also understand what you are thinking about right now, what you've been searching for during last couple of searches. So they are trying to identify your intent and redirect to particular website. If a user would put today a phrase like financing, what does it mean? Does he want to buy a car, build a house and needs money? Or he's a potential customer for microfinance. So Google gathers all of those information about your history, about who you are, and they are trying to detect what does it mean for you, the finance at this particular moment. And minding this, and minding that the market share of Google is over 90%. You need to also remember that people who are going to Google and looking for information, 3-4 searches every single day, they rely on this particular source of information heavily. What is Google? Google is, you can think about Google as a street in your city that our customers are going to, or your marketplace in your city that customers are going every single day. There is a information page, information wall where people put their offers, put the information about their businesses. You need to be up there. Someone decides who is up there. So the case is about how to not even hack a Google, but how to fulfill what Google expects from your website and ensure that you are on this wall. Guys, it's also important that the world changed dramatically during the last 10 years, and especially in the countries that are from Eastern Europe, the countries like the countries that you represent, it jumped over the big screens directly to the smartphones. And right now, even in Western civilization, over half of the searches are being done on mobile. This makes certain implications we will discuss later on. What is important to discover for sure, why it's worth to be on Google search engine. Guys, in 2013, Google was down for 5 minutes. In this day, global internet traffic dropped global by 40%. So right now, Google is like the first page or like the window for the customer to look to the world, to look to find the partners, business partners, to find the offers. Google uses, in this perpetual progress, uses over 200 of ranking signals in their algorithm to determine what should be your position on the SERP, on the search engine result pages. And those 200 ranking signals, they are changing. The algorithm used to be changed 500-600 times a year. But take a look what happened last year. In 2019, the number of updates reached 3,000. So basically, right now, when it comes to the what is called black hat tactics that were like buying artificial links or hacking the Google search engine, it is more and more complex. The quality of the website needs to be true, needs to be dedicated to the customer and its intent.
So in other words, just to give people possibility to breathe, because you already, Bernard, provided a lot of interesting information. So you could just hear, you know, a few reasons why we focus on Google, because they have more than 90% of share, and also they are coming a few interesting characteristics which Bernard are going to talk about later, like more and more people are using mobile. And that has certain implications for us. And then lastly, we cannot, you know, be more smarter than algorithms and trick them. We have to just, you know, build our website in a way that will be visible in the Google search.
Absolutely, you will always find a way, you know, like black hat way to hack a little bit. But after another change in the Google algorithms, once you, instead of investing in the quality of your website, you have invested into some hacking technologies that will help you to build your presence. After another change, your website is gone, basically. I'm not going to talk too much about the components of the ranking algorithm. This is something for you to read about after the session, because we do not have too much time, but I'm always trying to put some extra information on those slides in these materials. So later on, you can go through, while going through this, you can discover something more than I just explained. But guys, it's not only about your website and on-site content. It's, as you see, it's 1/3. It's also about off-site things that you are doing, about how many people on social are talking about you, how many good websites are linking to your website and recommending, how many good how many good informations are being spread, or bad information, unfortunately, about your website. This would bring your statistics down, but it's also about engagement and behavior of your user. You can lure customer to your website. You can cheat. You can have big banners that will tell amazing story and redirect the traffic to your website. At the end of the day, Google will understand whether those customers they bounced back, what was their dwell time. They will read the user signals. At the end of the day, you will be judged not by what only you've been doing, but about the reaction of the users. Last year, Google, they always give funny names to their algorithms. Last one is BERT. BERT is a new algorithm that it's like from the perspective of search engine optimization experts, from the perspective of Google as well. It's one of the biggest change within last, I would say, 5 years. How come? Previous ones, they've been about going into the direction of ensuring the quality, but this one is something special. BERT algorithm focus on what is called NLP, natural language processing. What it means actually is BERT is to try to read your website as humans do, and it understands not only what he's reading based on the keywords, but also based on the relationship between particular keywords. There is a big story of machine learning and NPL and creating what is called vectors based on wording and understanding what is the context about. At the end of the day, whenever you will type, for example, loan, Google will also understand that this is also about financing. This is also about I need to buy a car and I need money. So Google will understand that okay, so this guy is talking about having a loan without necessity to go only through the keywords. BERT only this year will affect between 10 and 20% of the search queries. That's a lot, because it means that between 10 and 20% of the keywords or the tactics of the companies will be affected in a way that at least part of their actions will disappear. Many others will appear on the website that are better addressing the BERT. BERT is also about long tail keywords that are becoming more and more important. Why? It's because voice assistants, because it is proven that whenever you are talking to Siri or to Google Home, you are not just typing 2 or 3 words. You are asking a real question. And that's why NLP is to understand the question, the way you are talking, and to transform this into the right answer, to show you the website that maybe is talking different language, is not containing these particular phrases or keywords, but it's exactly addressing your need. BERT also, one of the implications is that relevant content will continue to produce the best results. It's even more important. So I know that you've been participating in the content, I think it was Content is King session on MFC. This is perfect marriage. There is no good SEO without proper content. BERT is also boosting the voice assistant channels. Take a look, guys, that from the perspective of IT, of the developers, of the technology, voice is something very complex, machine learning, artificial intelligence based. It's not easy at all, but from the perspective of your customers, it's the best way of searching for the information. It's because it's the most easiest one. What do you do when you don't know something and you do not have, of course, Wikipedia with you? You ask a question. You don't even need to, whenever you have voice assistant with one button maybe on your screen, on your device at your home, you don't even need to know what is enter button for, how to operate on keyboard. This is perfect for older generation, for example. It just needs to be well polished and it needs to understand the local language. But it's happening, and right now over 20%, between 20 and 30% of the Western civilization users are already using this frequently. Websites that are targeting irrelevant keywords will take a hit, even bigger than it's happening right now. And you can count that localized content will have a greater impact. Please bear in mind that on lots of occasions, users are asking questions with the intent that this something that they are looking for, like a shop, the best would be that it's close to them. Your office that you would like to promote should be the one that is the answer should be with the local one. So you need to bear in mind that you need to prepare your content in a way that it clearly, in a very clear fashion, provides the information and shows the information about the local data, about the address. On many occasions, on lots of pages, you will see that this is only on one sub-page somewhere hidden, like the address. Intent-based SEO strategy will be the key. So it's not only about, again, answering to the question that is about particular keyword. It's about the intent of the user. So not only what he's typing, but also about history of his searches, about understanding and projecting to the SERP pages what Google thinks that user is thinking at this particular moment. Schema markup and rich snippets will become more and more standard practice. At the moment, what happens if you type something in Google? There is a result pages. And 90% you will see that what is called schema markup, I will talk a little bit about this later on, but this is more advanced. On many occasions, you will see that this snippet, this like a business card of yours, it just tells one sentence, but there is no really information for the user. There is no really like call to action. There is no additional dynamic info that you can put. All of this you can put with using of schema markup technology or schema markup scripting on your website. Key trends shaping SEO, guys. Basically, BERT deployment and going into the direction of NLP. Sorry, but I need to speed it up a little bit. Technical SEO and UX UI factors will grow even more importance, because again, you are redirecting the users with SEO to your website. Then if the UX and UI user interface is poor, users will bounce back. Google will penalize. Provide relevant data to your audience on your website to ensure that it's well consumed, that it drives customer towards the end of the conversion path. Loading speed of the pages, especially minding that over 50% of the customers, they are using this instead of big screen. So guys, this is like the king that I will keep on mentioning. Loading speed needs to be optimized. Rich content for the snippet, video content for better conversion, and treating your website as mobile first, not mobile friendly. Guys, if today you know that most of your customers are entering your website using mobile devices, what's the point in building the website first on the big screen? You need to start again, rethink your strategy of development of the user interfaces, and start with the most promising channels. And mobile is growing like hell. Voice search strategy needs to be addressed. And please also do not forget that at the end of the day, ROI and long-term value meaning is building up as well. Because basically what you are trying to accomplish with all of those things that we are talking session after session, it's about stable, continuous growth of the business. And search engine optimization is the first point you should address on this path. Content remains still king. Near me boosts accessibility. This near me, so putting right information to the Google Maps, to the Google business pages. And new channels are coming. What I mean is the virtual reality. It will be totally different way how the companies will be presented in 3D environment like this, and augmented reality as well. Guys, I'm not going to talk how to address them. This is for you to read. There is lots of information. Again, this is like a handout for you to go through. What I'm trying to, the point that I'm trying to make here is that later on, when you will go once again through these screens, you will find something better than just a presentation. You will find source of knowledge from which you will, it will be possible for you to start building this channel for you. Single and or landing page SEO. I met lots of people that actually they've been telling me there's no point because it's only for some time. This is only for like 1 month, and this is to support search engine marketing, so, or Google AdWords, whatever. I'm quite up. I would say I'm in opposition to this, and I would say that I believe that yes, landing pages needs SEO. Why? Because basically landing pages that are optimized for SEO, they are building your credibility. They make sure that more traffic are on the website, and by pushing SEO towards UX UI, they are ensuring also that you are not only higher in search results, but also the better experience drives more conversion, so you are getting more money. What is very important is that on many occasions, landing pages, they are used for AdWords as the page that is gathering some information. You are buying clicks, you are redirecting users to your landing pages, then something happens. Why it's worth to have SEO? And this is something I mentioned later on as well, because in Google World, SEO and SEM, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 3. Even if you will pay lots of money for every single click, and Google will see that the users are being redirected to a landing page that is poor, that is not optimized for SEO, you will either won't be on the first position, even though customers are paying, competition is paying less, or you will spend additional money, not even knowing about this, instead of paying optimal budgets. So yes, it is worth to optimize the landing page for SEO. Last but not least, guys, if the landing page is put under your general domain, it means that if such a landing page is poor SEO quality, it influences the rest of the pages, even though they are beautifully done, perfect technology, very well optimized. The health and quality of your domain is something that you should always worry about. You shouldn't have you shouldn't have landing pages or single pages or pages dedicated to some extra activities that are not optimized for SEO. Mobile SEO, already in 2015, mobile traffic exceeded desktop traffic. So no brainer here, but what kind of best practices are being applied to ensure that this trend is addressed? Basically, again, mind the page speed. You can have beautiful website, you can have website that is engaging, or you can have a very well optimized website. If the page speed is higher than 200 milliseconds, not only user will penalize you, but Google will penalize you as well. Local search is the key in mobile. On mobile devices, users, the intent, the basic intents usually means what I'm talking to you, my dear assistant, my dear Siri. I'm talking at the back of my head as something local. When I'm talking, I would like to buy a hat, it means I would like to find a shop somewhere near me. There's no point. Of course, we are living in global village and we can buy lots of stuff remotely. But on many occasions, like financial services in particular, where users needs to have at least clear information that if something goes wrong, yeah, I will go through the remote process. But if something goes wrong, I can go to some office. I can find someone who will help me. This is very important to be in local search. You shouldn't block CSS, JavaScript and images anymore. The desktops and mobiles, they understand this correctly. Lots of companies, they still have such a rich content blocked. Design site for mobile. Start with mobile, not with the bigger screen. Optimize metadata on your website and apply schema. Apply information that can be visible on this business card of yours on the SERP, search engine result pages. Last but not least, get familiar with amplified websites and with response web design. Too many pages, they are still built in the old technology that they are not scaling for the mobile. Voice SEO is the new channel that appears right now, and Gartner is already showing that 30% of browsing sessions is already in this part of this world, and again, 33 of adults used voice search. It is jumping quite dramatically from 25% in 2018. So guys, beware, because you will find yourself in 2 or 3 years in a situation where a big chunk of the traffic won't come from typing, from the keyboard. It will come from the people asking questions like they do, like they are looking for information on the streets. Actually, right now, 56% of all voice searches are made on the smartphone. This is natural. So again, you have customers that are looking possibly for local business. They are using, instead of typing voice assistants, they are at the reach of your hand. But your hand, your web shop needs to be optimized for this new trend. Use conversational language, so long phrases on the website. Not of all of them. Again, this is a mix, you know, and this is voice is just the beginning of the journey, but it's picking up rapidly. To address this, you need to start implementing tactics that they are addressing not the simple keywords or phrases, but use this conversational language. See how users are asking questions. Address those questions, address those phrases that they are using. Target long tail keywords and ensure that reach answers on your websites. Restructure the content towards these new channels. And again, page speed, local listing as priority, and attention to mobile. So guys, it's, as you see, even the new channels, they are utilizing mobile. They require, especially when customer is asking question, not with typing and seeing some thing that tells him to wait a little bit. Especially for the voice channel, the page speed or time to reply needs to be very fast, more robust than loading a screen, than showing information on the screen. SEO and user experience, they go hand by hand. One influences each other. They cannot exist without each other. And this is like a lesson that was learned by the market quite fast. SEO targets search engines and UX targets your website visitors. You can do, again, you can do lots of things to lure the customers, to redirect them to your website. But when the website, when your office is not good enough, it's not the people who are sitting there, robots, whatever, they are not good enough. The desks, so the screens are not beautiful enough, they are not new enough. The carpet, so the background is not clean enough, it's not good enough on your virtual branch. It means that you are losing them. And one of the biggest lessons is that people who are leaving your website, they are much less focused on going to your offline or real world branch. So guys, well done digital helps a lot, but whenever you are creating something that is cheap, that is not working, it will hit you not in the only in the digital world, but it will also bring down your business in your branches, in your real world. Key is, again, from the user experience, is the page speed. Shallow navigation, so easy not only to understand for the customer, but also for the robots, for the crawler, the navigation on your website. The crawler won't go deeper than 1, 2, 3 pages deep. Google understands that if the website is too deep, if there is the navigation is too complex, again, penalizing. Again, it judges your quality by this factor as well. You need to also leverage personas. So this is the tendency in the digital world, not only in financial sector, but in e-commerce in particular. It's about optimizing the ROI by maximizing the influence of each sessions. You will build session value when you will understand your personas, and whenever such a personas will be answered on your website with the personalized content. So leveraging personas, it's not only mean that it's about understanding who's coming to your website. It's, or even showing some generic messages. It's about modifying your website for particular personas. Research keywords, again, responsive web design and mobile first. Google ranking factors, understanding them and addressing them. Whenever you are, when you are not blind and you see what Google is doing, how they are evolving with this algorithm, you can be faster than competition and address those changes. If Google likes today that it should be, that the images are not enough, and in fact it is, that Google loves when on the website there is lots of video content, for example. but lots of video content that is consumed, not only present. It means that whenever you discover this faster than your competition and introduce such a content, you are winning the competition towards the customer. Last but not least, implement tests. I'm not telling that everything should be dropped, that you need to just switch from one pool to another and start swimming in the new waters. No, quite opposite. See what is working at your website and test before invest. This is what we are applying in every single company I work with. At the end of the day, learning comes from testing, and from learning there is a increased session value, so ROI at the end of the day. Guys, there is lots of SEO tools on the market. So for some of them you need to pay, for some of them that can be get for free. The first one is the Google Search Console. I'm not going to tell you about the why I would like to invite you to test them. It's rather about you after going through the information that I'm giving, discovering what is best for you, because maybe you are using part of them. Maybe they won't work for you because of the language barrier, because of the hardware that you are using. But first one that you should look at is the Google Search Console for sure. This is ideal for the beginner, free support, lots of metrics, URL inspection, site mapping. Next one would be SEMrush. If you are not familiar with the SEMrush company, go to their website and you will understand immediately why it's worth, why hundreds of thousands or millions of organizations are using their software nowadays. SEO Spider would be the next one, Majestic Tools and Moz Pro. Guys, these are the tools that are used by the professionals. On many occasions, to some degree, you don't have to pay for them, but all of them, they are on the list of the best tools all around the world. So if you are starting your journey, start with Google Search Console. Then, while building for you a development plan, then you will understand what type of tools you will need as the first, as the second, and after a year, you will know precisely what to use. There are lots of free-to-use tools, guys, like SEOquake, like Woorank, or also Google Optimise, or Moz, or Ubersuggest, you know. I would say like this. Take a look at this list when you have time. Go to the rankings. There are plenty of professional pages that are showing rankings of those SEO tools. Build a plan for yourself to understand what kind of challenges you will face during next months, and then deep dive into particular one or two tools. Some of them are focused on the researching of the phrases that you should use. Some of them better are on things like identifying the issues on your, or backtracking the links, identifying the issues on your website. Some are good for only for analytics. We've got only like 7 minutes.
But if you have any questions, guys, you know, feel free to write them. We can happily address them. So do not be shy. Use Bernard and his knowledge on this topic. So now we are going to talk a little bit how to start. So as most of us are beginners here and just heard about it. So what we should do at the beginning.
And again, guys, if you will have later on any questions, you can shoot them via even email. It's not a problem. I will get back to you soon. Start with due diligence, guys. See first how your website look like. And on many occasions, you will see that there are both upsides and downsides and quick fixes. I'm always telling one thing: without this, without understanding where you operate right now and what you are missing, you cannot move further. You shouldn't even make immediate fixes, because maybe it will be wasted money. And at the end of the day, you will have additional issue, what would be the CFO challenging you while you are spending money on something that should be rebuilt. Feed the rank brain. So basically, research keywords and create topics. So create a plan or create a repository of the information that the customer should look for at your website. And behind the information, that will be always replies as well. So you are starting with simple keywords. Then you will go to the phrases. Then you will go to these long tail keywords that I explained, and long keywords that are addressing mobile, that are addressing the voice searches. Beware and ensure that there is a content strategy in place. Without content strategy, you don't know how your SEO will evolve, because you don't know what precisely will be created, what kind of topics will be addressed, what to track, how to make the analytics working without content strategy. Next, when you have all this knowledge about the due diligence, the technical issues on your website, go through the SEO audit. Check the accessibility. Make sure that your website is addressing the needs of people who are, for example, blind, or even though this is not your biggest traffic, Google penalize websites who are not addressing such a personas. Define goals, because again, without goals, you don't know how much money you want to spend, what is the expectation, how to talk to your head of marketing or CEO or CFO in particular while preparing the budget, or while later on explaining how you are calculating the ROI. Optimization and putting these to local SEOs is, as you see, like the next stages. So first we have a knowledge, then we have an understanding about the keywords, about the questions of our customers and the answers. Then we have the audit done, and we know precisely whether our website is healthy enough to start to address the SEO. And when we define the goals, then the real optimization starts, like the real work. Optimization, local SEO, and the backlinking. Of course, there is much more later on to do to address the what Google expects. To focus on personalization, not only treating people as personas, but devices as personas as well. If a customer is using 2,000 euros device, possibly the tone of voice that you are using should be different than the customer that is using very old-fashioned device. And only based on this, you are creating like the ultimate experience that allows customers, or first allows customers to land on the pages that is addressing this intent of theirs. This is first thing. But on the other hand, you are convincing Google that the website, the target website for these particular personas, for this particular query, is the right one and should be treated better than the competition. Guys, I wanted just to mention for you that again, Cement's search engine marketing and SEO is the perfect marriage. Yes, SEO is a long-term investment, and it requires longer time for learning, for going to ROI positive. You need to create this content. You need to check and fix the things on the website. But in the long run, first of all, the ROI in this channel I don't think I have in my head right now a single company that I used to cooperate with that would say that ROI for SEO is lower than on PPC. Yes, in PPC you see immediate effect. It's quite faster to learn, but later on the ROI is more consistent, while in in SEO, it is growing bigger and bigger. The most important is that if you are doing PPC, do the SEO, because even PPC will work better than PPC without SEO. Google don't like to redirect, even if you are paying for this, your traffic to a poor, at least in their eyes, to a poor landing pages or poor pages. Common pitfalls that we observe and identified with the companies, especially with banks, that is on many occasions it's poor content, or content that is not being taken care of, the content that is not being changed. Duplication is another story. Too many companies, they are either using similar pages to address different keywords, or they are copying the content from the Wikipedia, from other websites. Google sees this. Long loading time, unoptimized images, and on many occasions, usually unoptimized images means heavy images, so long loading time. Keyword misfocus, we are trying to address too many keywords because maybe customers who would like to hear about this, maybe he will be interested in our offer as well. This is being penalized nowadays. Over optimization and cannibalization of target keywords, indexability issues, so lack of having proper links between the websites, lack of having the website maps, bad backlinks, bad titles and title tags, wrong or lack of meta descriptions. We have 2020 and still lots of pages, they are missing right meta tags. Not optimized for mobile, it's like the one of the biggest sins, I would say, and inadequate monitoring. You can do whatever you want, but without proper monitoring, you won't see the effect, or at least you won't understand whether the enhanced number of customers is coming because of your SEO actions, or maybe it's because of people hearing about your offer in local media. So basically, guys, this is what I wanted to say, and this is where I'm leaving you with a kind of a basic information, because that was the goal of this. The second goal would be the inspiration to start doing search engine optimization. The longer you wait while having your website, the longer will be the path, because Google again will penalize your website. As in the appendix, you will find information about schema markup. This is not for this session, but this is important like hell, because when you are putting any phrase in the Google and the results appear, again, this is the first part of your conversion funnel. If there is no clicks here, you will be your website will go down. Even if you are on the number one and you are not using proper information here, you are not using call to action, it means that you are venting at least part of your possible revenue. Guys, stay tuned. Thank you very much for this session. I know that it was fast. I understand also that we should focus later on particular areas of search engine optimization. So I'm looking forward to hear from you which of the parts of the search engine optimization would be the most valuable for you in future.
Yes, thank you, Bernard, for this presentation and for providing us with so much information. I hope you are convinced that SEO is something, it's a must, and it's a very useful, helpful, and good investment. If you don't know where to start, just look at the list of pitfalls which Bernard made and check against your websites where you are with that. If you have any questions, please write them, or you can unmute yourself and ask those questions. Meantime, my colleague Alex will launch an evaluation poll. So Alex, if you could launch the poll, I would like to ask you to respond to a few questions to provide us feedback about this webinar. It's always good to know what do you think, and to improve what needs improvement. So if you have any questions, it's time. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask it. I don't see any questions in the chat.
I have only one question. Hello, I am Ervis from FedInvest.
Hi, hi.
We are building the new website of our company, and in the Balkan, or especially in Albania, a lot of users are from mobile. And sometimes the responsivity of the website or the screen are not fully, how to say it, perfect, because screens are different, but we choose that our customer are more connected with mobile than PCs. And I want just some suggestion from Mr. Bernard, how we can improve it, or which are the topics that we have to.
Guys, I will tell like this. One of the tools is pizza.
Pizza?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. There is no better way. Really, there is no better way. Even if you are thinking that you know, you have the big numbers about your market, and I'm very happy to hear that in Albania you already focused on mobile devices. So mobile first for sure, and start with mobile. But there is no better way than having 2-3 sessions. This is what we did last time with one of the biggest players in Finland, in a little bit different company, because company that is helping people to travel, market leader, and still we got the pizza, we got our UX agency, and we talked to the customers, we showed them screen by screens, we observed the reactions, and we've seen what they've been looking for. After for 2 weekends of sessions like this, with 20-25 people, that's it. We got so many information that we thought that actually we know everything. But at the end of the day, while observing users that are fresh to this, that they are not prejudged with all the information that we had in our head, we've seen that about 30% of the user interface had to be changed. And it was not about building straight away the website, it was building like the flat pages that customers see. Then next session would be pizza again, where after having this information, actually what is missing, what customer would like to see at the first one, then we prepared clickable wireframes. Easy to do, then sessions, and then I would say about 15% up to 20% of the screens, they would have to be rearranged, checked once again. Then, only then, we decided to tell our development guys to start developing this. Because the worst thing is to think that we already understand the customers and we are in their shoes. We are not. We are experts. We understand more. We are more familiar with the devices. We are more familiar with our products. And for us, lots of things are just obvious. While having really even like this 2-3 sessions, every session 2-3 hours with the users, with pizza, sitting with them, you will understand much, much more. 2 steps. First, just a flat screens, then wireframes clickable, then you will have your discovery. But for sure, starting with this and also aiming for future, I mean, from the perspective that I'm addressing near me. I'm not sure how many branches you have, but if you are not full digital and you've got different branches in different parts of the region of the country or different regions of the country, it's even more important for you to, after addressing like building the web shop, whatever device it would mean, next thing is about localizing the content, making sure that in your content, your address, it's not only explained in your footer. it should be well processed and digested by the Google, so Google understands how it matches the information that you put in the local business of Google websites.
Okay. Actually, we linked all the branches with Google Maps.
Good. So, so I would say like this, make sure that you've got dynamic mechanism on your website that Google can find not only on the maps, but on your website, every single branch.
Yeah, every single branch is in the website by Google.
Good.
Okay, thank you for pizza.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your question.
Any other questions? Bernard, some people got interested what this pizza is about. So basically you invite some customers.
It's about buying pizza for those people, really.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And without spending lots of money for some kind of market research, we got much more by spending 100 euros for a weekend for pizzas for those people.
And you can get a lot of valuable information while asking them to check your ideas and before you launch the full developed website, as Bernard mentioned. Before you go into development, check if your ideas make sense, because they can make sense for us, but not necessary for our customers. So,
guys, the same we've been doing for when we've been creating smart branches for one of the banks. We thought that we know where particular desk should be, where the waiting person should come, where people should wait. Then we asked questions, then we asked a number of customers to come and to test this and to tell us where they feel more secure, where they would like to sit, etc. Lots of new findings, 30% of the map of the branch was changed.
yes, that's usually what happens. Okay, if you have any other questions, we can still answer them. And please don't forget to respond to our evaluation, which my colleague launched a few minutes ago.
Guys, you've got also a link to my LinkedIn profile. Stay in touch, reach out to me, and I would happily help if I could on any occasions. Just reach out. Share more, learn more.
Exactly. So I don't see any more questions. So Bernard, thank you very much again for your time and sharing your experience and your knowledge. It was very valuable. Thank you to you all for participating in this webinar, and I invite you for the next Tuesday webinar and the following ones. Please check our website, mfc.org.pl, for more information, as well as how to register for those webinars within the bootcamp. So have a good afternoon, and good luck with starting with search engine optimization process.
Stay tuned, guys. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.